Hello guys, welcome to Cisco with Aman Soni, and in this video we are going to talk about remote access by using the two most famous protocol for that purpose, which is Telnet and SSH. What is the similarity and difference between these two? So what is remote access? First of all, few of you might know what is TeamViewer. TeamViewer is, let me show you, I might have it here. It is a remote access software for our laptop and PCs. For example, I have my friend's PC or my home PC and I'm at office right now and I want to check some things on my home PC. So I will just simply log in, or I will put the ID of my partner here and I will click on remote control and connect, and in this box only the desktop of my home PC will open and I can remotely access it from here. Whatever I will do here, like opening my computer, whatever accessing, it will be happening there. So it is very good tool if you want to check some things, if you want to show something to the user somewhere, or you want to troubleshoot. For example, it is like you something is going on wrong with your Windows. So the Windows troubleshooting guy will take the TeamViewer access of your desktop and they will control it and they will eradicate the issue. Okay, so it is something like this. For example, this is our main router R1. I just connected two routers. So this will be our remote device, which we are going to control sitting from here only. Meaning, what if I want to take the CLI of this R1? We will just first of all, turn on the routers. We'll open this R1. Physically, how it works, you have to be there where the R1 is physically located. You have to put the console cable, and then you have to open putty or secure CRT, and then you'll get the console like this. But what we want, we are sitting not here, we are sitting far away, maybe in other state or maybe in another country itself, and we are connected with that router via internet or via some other connectivity, and we are sitting on a PC or maybe another router it can be. And when we are sitting on that another router, from that router we will do either telnet or we will do either SSH and give the IP address of that R1, and remotely the console of this R1 will open here on R2. Meaning what, we don't have to physically close to the R1. This is what we call remotely accessing another device. Okay, so for this purpose, let's use some basic IP address like this 12.111/24, and let's use here 12.112. And now in this lab, I want to show you another thing. What I'm going to convert this router as a PC. Meaning what? We will change this router and it will be acting like a PC. It doesn't mean that okay, you can play some movies or music on this. It's not that kind of PC. It will be very normal PC with an IP address, subnet mask, and a default gateway. Meaning what? We will disable the routing of the router and it will start acting as a router. And you will see, as soon as you disable routing, it will, instead of the routes, it will ask you give me the default gateway, because that is the difference between a PC and a router. PC needs a default gateway. It is just like my main route, only one route I have, that is default gateway. But router can have multiple routing entries in the routing table. So let me show you how that can be done. Let's go to R2, config T, no IP routing. Before that, let me just show you the routing table. Okay, this is what the routing table looks like. I support all these routing protocols because I'm a router. But now I will do one command, no IP routing, and let's take a look at the routing table. I don't support any routing protocol anymore. So I just need a default gateway. So let's give the basic things. What? Assign IP address. First we want to see the interfaces. Click here. Interface F00 we have here. 12.112, 255.255.255.0, no shut, exit out. And in order to give the default gateway, this is the command 192.0. Actually it is 12.111 in our case. If you want to check, same old show IP interface brief, I have the IP, and in the routing table you see that I have only one default gateway, so this guy is now acting like a PC. Okay, so R1 is just a router. a default gateway for that PC. So what are the commands? Let me just also write it here for you, which are: go to the interface simply and assign the IP address, turn on the interface and do no IP routing. And right now it doesn't feel that good. Why? Because it is still looking like a router. So for that, the last optional step, just to make you feel good, right click, change symbol, and you can make it look like whatever you like. So let's make it look like a PC. So now it feels good. Yes, we have a R2, meaning what? We can even change this, but R2 means we converted this router and it is looking like a PC now, and it is acting like a PC. So whenever you want to configure the remote access protocol, Telnet or SSH, you have to enable them on the remote device.
Yes, sir.
Always. So let's go to R1 and we'll give Telnet. Telnet is pretty simple. So see, whenever you access the router remotely, okay, yes, connectivity will come from here. Let's make use of our paint. Let's copy this guy. Okay, so we are initiating a Telnet connection. We are coming from far and we want to remotely access the CLI, and we are coming like this all the way from here. Yes, we will go inside the interface, but what particular request we will make to access the router or switch remotely? So that access is made to, it will ask to access what is known as line VTY. What I want line VTY. What is line VTY? It is virtual teletype lines, and by default you have 0 to 4 like this enabled. You can see even that in the show running config. See, don't get confused because we cannot see that line VTY interface. You can see on the physical router on the back side you have interface, but see, all these interface have 0 0 this that and all. But if you scroll down, you will see the line VTY 0 to 4 and login is already enabled on that. Now guys, what is this line meaning? Via the line I can get the CLI of the router. Simple as that. Now we have a line console, we have a line aux, and we have a line VTY. So let me just show you some basics. If you see the back, let's take the help of our old friend packet tracer. On the back side of router, you have already what is known as a console port and a auxiliary port. Let me show you. Just open physical and zoom in a little. We have a console and aux port, right? Using these two, you can access the CLI. So this console, do we see this in the show IP interface brief? No. In the show IP interface brief, it will show you all these interfaces, all the communication guys, not the console or aux. Console is actually known as, this is known as line console 0, and this is known as line aux. Where are they? Let me show you. Simple. This is your console port config. Whatever, like who you want to allow, you don't want to allow, some username, password or something like that. This is your line aux 0. But these line VTY 0 to XYZ, whatever, they are virtual lines. Remotely you are sitting somewhere. If you are coming here, you will be hitting one of those lines. By default, 0 to 4 login is enabled. So what is the meaning of this login? Some few doubts we have, like what is this login? Or simply I'll just write here the meaning of login. Pretty simple. Login means login. Go and login means ask password. That is the, we say I'm okay logging into the Facebook, I'm logging into my Gmail. It means I'll put my credentials. So login means ask password. But can you see any password? No. That's why Telnet by default will not work, because password is not set on the line VTY. And another question, how many line VTY we have? It depends. Yeah, see, you can see 0 to 4, meaning what? At a time, 5 people can access it. because I have line VTY 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people can access it. But guys, it depends from router to router. On different series router, you will go there to the config, you will do line VTY 0 space question mark. There can be 80 lines, there can be 100 lines, there can be 190 lines or something. So it depends. We have a very high-end CD router series running here, 7200. Let me show you. Line VTY 0. I don't know how many line VTY I have. In the show running, it was showing that only, see, on 4 line VTYs, login is enabled, meaning ask password, but we have to set the password. But how many max we can configure? We can configure 1869. A lot.
1870.
Yeah. How many you want, it's up to you. Now, simple as that. If I do 5, it will give me like 6 people can access 0 to 5. But let's go 0 to 4. But before that, we only have IP address here. Okay, I think we do show IP interface brief. Okay, on our one is supposed to be 12.1.1.1. Good thing. If by mistake you gave same IP address, after some time you will see some messages like this.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so no worry, just change the IP address. All thing is good now. Only IP address we have, I can even ping the other guy because it is directly connected to me. Now let's go to the R2, the PC, and let's do one thing. This is our PC. Now let's try to take telnet and let's see what it says. We haven't enabled even a single telnet command. Telnet 12.1.1.1. It will say something very good. I can access it. Can I access line VTY? You might say no, but look here. Yes, I can access line VTY. It's open. But it is asking that password is required, but you haven't set that on the remote side. So simple, the telnet commands, the basic telnet commands are pretty simple. What? Let's do telnet lab 1. We'll go to the config T, we'll go to the line VTY. How much it depends on you. You can even do 0. Only one person I want to access. You can do 1, you can do 2, you can 3. What you cannot do, you cannot do this. No.
0 to.
Yes, it have to be 0 if you want for one person. If you want for more, you will do 0 to 4. For example, I want, let's take 9, like 10 people. It have to be like this. Then I will say login. Now Cisco prefers you that you will do these command in order. If you give login, you will see a lot of error messages. That password not set, password not set, password not set multiple times. So that's why it is better if you say password first and then you will say login. Simple, we went to line VTY 0 to 9. I applied the password, I just activated them, and login simply means ask password. Always remember this. Login means ask password. What password? This password. Okay, let's go to R1. One another thing I want to show you. Let's capture the packets. How the packet goes when the data is traveling. It's on now. So just let's first do the ping. Ping uses ICMP. You can even do that to check your captures is working fine or not. I just did a ping. Go to Wireshark. Why delayed? Okay, no worries. Let's do once again. They should have came by now. Okay, let me do one thing. I'll stop this. I'll stop the capture and I'll again start it. Let's try pinging from this side. Oh, working fine now. This is hopping.
Yes, sir.
Let's go to R2. Let's try from here. Okay, for some reason it is showing only for R1. But it should show us the telnet packets. Okay, so let's do telnet and let's try to see if telnet packets are coming here or not. Telnet uses the TCP protocol. Why? Because TCP is reliable. Okay, so let's take telnet access. We'll do telnet to the remote router, and what it is saying, open password required but none set. Okay. Okay, so yeah, what we did actually, yeah, we did in the outside, but let's do it here. So what we have to do, simply line VTY 02 question mark. We can go up till whatever you like. Let's make it till 9, and we'll give password Cisco 123, and we will give login. Exit. Go to R2, do the telnet. It is asking for the password, and password is Cisco 123. It will not show you, just type it and enter, and you are inside the router. But now you have a small restriction. What restriction? It will put you in the user mode, the most basic mode, and if you try to do enable, it will not let you in because you haven't protected the enable mode with the password. Meaning what? You have to put, okay, something, yeah, we have to all the telnet data.
Yes,
so for now, let's turn off the Wireshark. I'll show you later. So it will not let you in by default. You are into the router, but it will not give you the privilege 15. Enable mode has the privilege 15 because you haven't put an enable password. So exit out of the telnet, and there is a basic prerequisite for basic telnet practical or basic telnet session that you have to have enable password. So simple, how to set enable password. There are two methods to do that. One is this, enable password Cisco, or you can do enable secret Cisco. Don't give them at the same time because the enable password and the secret password have to be different if you're giving at the same time. But it doesn't make any sense to give both of them at the same time. See, what is the difference? Both will protect your enable mode, but enable password is saved in plain text in the running config or startup. The secret password is saved as encrypted format. What I mean by that, let me show you. Exit out. Let's exit out from the enable mode as well. I can do disable. But if I do enable now, see, it won't ask any password because I'm on the console access. So config T, enable password Cisco. Exit out, show running config. It will show me my enable password right there. Here it is in plain text. Anyone can see it who have the running config. If I do disable, if I do enable, it will ask me that you have to tell the password, enable password to go in. So I will write Cisco and I'm in. Okay, so let's remove this password. No enable password. Gone. Then I will do enable secret Cisco. Same password. But look at this now. You cannot read the Cisco or the secret password. This is my Cisco written in MD5 hash value. Okay, it will use some hashing algorithm to give me the hash. No one can read this. Okay, so let's disable, but it will work nonetheless. Enable Cisco, working fine. So now I have set the enable password, secret password is there. One of these two have to be there. So now if I go to the PC remotely and if I do telnet, it will ask for the telnet password. Always remember, it is asking me this password, Cisco 123. Enable, now it will ask me enable password,
Cisco.
and I'm in. But let me show you one very bad thing about the telnet. Right click, stop capture. Okay, I've started the capture. Okay, let's go to R2 and let's do the telnet again. It is enable my telnet password Cisco123. I have put enter. Enable my enable password or secret, which is right now Cisco, and I'm in here and I will do some commands or whatever I can do. I can change the host name, hack, exit out, exit, and see immediately it will take effect on R1. Look, because you were remotely controlling that. So go to the Wireshark. We have a lot of telnet data, telnet this, and just open any telnet data that you like. Let me show you some basic things. The source IP will be whatever of the machine, destination IP will be of the remote, source MAC, destination MAC will be of the machine, source port will be some random, but the destination port is always going to be 23 because telnet uses TCP port 23. Always remember that. Okay, so telnet, the traffic goes in plain text. If somebody is sitting in between, capturing all your data, sniffing the packets with a tool, Wireshark or some other hacking tool, and they will right click here, follow TCP stream, and look what I can see. It will show me my telnet password. It will show me my enable password. And more than that, whatever command you will do, it will show you all the commands. All my config, all my passwords he will be having. No security at all. Just capture the data in between somewhere and open them and see whatever you like. Okay, so that's why SSH is faster. Why? Because no security, but that's the bad thing. No encryption, no security, just capture data and read it. That's why came the almighty SSH, Secure Shell Protocol. It uses TCP as well, port number 22, but it uses encryption to send and receive your data. Okay, so please try this video. Okay, one few tweaks I want to show you. You can do some very good, amazing things with the telnet command. What? Let me show you. I'll just tweak them. Basic telnet, now you are good with. That's why I put telnet lab 1 here. So this I will do, and I will not do login. I will not give this password because I want it to be more interactive. When you log into Facebook, it will ask for not for your password. It will ask for a username and password. So I want something like this, creative. Because now bad thing is if I have 10 users, whoever is logging in, let me show you what I mean by that. Open R2. I will log in. I will take the telnet connection again, Cisco 123, enable Cisco. I will go to R1. Right now I'm logged in, right? Pay attention to that. R1, who is logged into me? Two users are logged into me. One via console access, which is myself, and one is accessing line VTY0 from this location, but I don't know what is his username. I don't know to which person having the credential right now to access it. I don't want that. I want if somebody comes, their username should be here. Because I can say, okay, some log will come that, okay, at this time, this user made some changes. Everybody have their own credentials. And one good thing, if somebody take the telnet access from PC2 and I'm sitting on the main, I can kick him out. How? Like this. There will be a random, some line number will be here too, assigned to that guy, right? So I can do clear line, just clear line, and give the number, this number that came here, clear number line 2, and see, look at the, I have the telnet access. I will go there on the main console access, clear line 2, confirm, okay. And if you go to the other side, you will see that connection to the remote host is closed. That's how you kick someone out. Maybe they took telnet and they forgot to log out. Okay, so I want to make it interactive. So what I will do, I will remove this password itself, and instead of login, I will say login local. Login means ask password. Login local means ask username and password. So we'll go here. But which username password? Do I have username password? No. So you have to go to the config and you have to create it. username, whatever, Aman, password Cisco123. In the config mode, it is your local database. That's why you say login via local database. Ask the username and password. So let's do these commands. So config t, username, Aman, password Cisco123, and go to line VTY, and you will only say remove the password. We don't want any password here. We just want login local. Final config is this. Now if you remotely access, some other things will happen. It will ask you for username. This will password for that username, and I can have a lot of usernames. Enable, it will ask me the enable password, which is Cisco. And if I go to the console access, and if I do who, not show who, it will tell me which user is currently logged in. So some pretty cool things you can do. Another cool thing which is my favorite, isn't it weird that I take Telnet access, it will ask me the username password, then it will ask me for the enable password, then it is letting me in. Weird, but I just want one username, password, and that's it. I want direct access to the enable mode. So there is another way, cool way you can do that. Duplicate. So this will be our Telnet lab 3. Believe me, I can do like what 5 or 6 such labs. So okay, so I'm not going to do all of them, just these 3. Google it, check the Telnet commands. Lot of fancy things are there. How many attempts of Telnet password you want? After 3 attempts, they will get warning. They will be logged out for 1 minute. If you do not exit out of the Telnet session after 5 minutes of idle timeout, you will automatically kicked out. A lot of fancy commands are there. Okay, so I will do this, but I don't want the remote device to ask me the enable password. So what I will do, I will increase the privilege level of this user to 15. Meaning what? This is a privilege 15 user. By default, it was privilege 1. That's why privilege 1 means user mode. It was going to user mode. But now it is privilege 15. And which mode has privilege 15? Enable. It will directly go to the enable mode. So let's do this. No need to change much change. I'll just remove the username. Just exit out of the telnet first. Config t. No username Aman. That's it. That's how you remove the username. So I will say username Aman, and my privilege is 15. Password is Cisco123. Okay, I put some 1243. No worries. Then leave the rest same, because we already have login local only at the line VTY. If you want to verify at any point of time your line VTY config, do the show running config. Go to the end, and here you have it. Only that. Login local asks username and password. Go to R2. Let's remotely access. Username is Aman. Password is Cisco12. Okay. Password is some weird one. My password was 1243. 1243. Yeah. Cisco1243. If I do enter, it will.
Privilege.
Yeah. But I put the wrong password. Aman, and my password is Cisco1243. It will directly take me to the enable mode without asking the enable password.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, just like last. It's for you to try at home. Let's do no username, login local, and I can give privilege 15 here as well. And I will just put login, which says ask password. So what this will do, give telnet password and directly log into enable mode directly. It doesn't matter who you are, because I am saying whoever is coming to the line VTY will be having the privilege 15 directly. Okay, so just revising up, this is your basic telnet. This is ask username and password for telnet login. For this one, ask username password and directly jump to enable mode. Sometimes in the interviews and all, basic thing, sometimes they say how to turn off telnet. Just turn off telnet. People say go there and turn off it. So a lot of weird things I've seen. Super weird thing. I have seen people doing this. Really, multiple times. You cannot delete them. You cannot delete them. Do their line VTY. They will be there.
No.
Okay. And sometimes they go to the line VTY and they do no login and no password and these kind of things. I did that command, but 0 to 4, see, I did no line VTY 0 to 9, but 0 to 4 will be there. So you didn't disable it. It's still there.
Still there.
Sometimes people do line VTY 0 to this and they do no login. Let me show you the disaster of doing that. Line VTY 0 space 9 and I will do no login. So login means what?
Asking password.
Ask password. Very good. Do show history. Let me just copy the last commands here. No login. Login means ask password. So do you know what no login means?
It doesn't ask password directly done.
Yeah. No login means no password needed. Just go and see.
Just go and
I just give telnet. They send IAM directly to my router. So this is very bad thing. So this is what? This is actually telnet without any password. So how we will turn off the telnet? It is pretty simple. When we started this lecture, when we started the lab, was telnet enabled? No, it was not there. So just set it to the default config. Go to the line VTY 0 to whatever and remove all the extra things you have done, whatever extra command you have done, remove them. If you have password, remove it. If you have whatever privilege command, remove that and just put one line there and put login. That's it. Read the message. Login is disabled. Why login is disabled? Because I give no password.
No password.
So previously it was like that. Line VTY 0 to whatever and login. And don't give the password and no one can log in.
No password.
So that's how you disable the telnet. Okay, so try all these labs, because all these things, all these extra features, username, login local, privilege 15, no login, all of them will be exactly same in SSH protocol as well. Just the commands to enable SSH are different. Okay, so let's talk about SSH in the another video, and we will also take capture and we'll confirm in SSH the packets are going in plain text or like what. So let's see you guys in the next lecture.